Hey, what's up, everybody? RC Talks All Things Basketball back with another video. So, on today's video segment, we are going to talk about the Philadelphia 76ers. Last season, the Sixers finished with a record of 54-28. Went down in the semifinals to the Boston Celtics in a series that it looked like they had a couple of chances of winning. They were up in the series, but ultimately, once again, Philadelphia eliminated from the playoffs, and another questionable offseason begins. You have a huge anchor, a huge superstar in Joel Embiid. As Joel Embiid ages, although he has been playing more. He has been still suffering injuries. And he is just coming off a MVP caliber season. But we all know that Joel Embiid does not have a big window to deal with in terms of chasing championships or just getting one championship. This Philadelphia team centered around Embiid, I have a lot of question marks with it. Ultimately, if you ask me what's wrong with Philadelphia, because they have shown that they can easily put together wins in the regular season. As I said, they finished 54-28. This team, it goes back to just the tragedy of Ben Simmons' on-court play, inability to shoot the ball. I know we dating back a few years, but they just haven't truly gotten right since then. But it's not just the departure of Ben Simmons. Now, I'm not just going to point the finger at him. They chose wrong. They took long, chose wrong. They should have chose Jimmy Butler over Tobias Harris. That would have bode so well for the future for the 76ers team and program had they just taken Jimmy Butler over Tobias Harris. I just can't quite fathom why they made that choice. Like Tobias Harris is a really good player. Actually, very stellar. Tobias is he can get buckets for you. He can get you points. Tobias is like I said, he's a stellar player, both sides of the ball, but he's just not going to take you where you need to go. And he's just not going to be that key piece that you need offensively to take you over the top, especially when you're dealing with wings out east like Jimmy Butler, Jason Tatum. You're dealing with Jaylen Brown. You got to deal with Chris Middleton when healthy. So, you got to deal with Mikal Bridges now. So, yeah, I don't think Tobias is that small forward needed, that wing needed to get you where you want to go. You got one truly bright young star in Tyrese Maxey, who's still transcending and ascending higher. I'm very high on Maxey, believing the sky's the limit for this kid. He definitely has some room to grow, but you can see that he is when he's on and when he's hitting, when he's focused and when he's locked in, his shot is falling. Tyrese Maxey, superstar in the making, truly is. So I would tend to say that you should go, more for the future with Maxey than anyone. But that's just my take. Like you kind of have to build this team because here's the problem as I look at Philadelphia. Small window for Joel Embiid. Then, of course, you got the elephant in the room, James Harden, lacking on the defensive side, streaky shooter, but when he's on, he's really on. I just don't know. James Harden is a high volume shooter, one of the most overrated superstars that I've ever witnessed play. And he can definitely get them points for you. He can definitely do that, but he doesn't do much of anything else. And I think Philadelphia has to move on from James Harden, especially when you got a brilliant head coach like Nick Nurse. So the clock is ticking on that. I don't know if you bring James Harden back. I don't know where this team is headed. He's 33. He's not as agile as he used to be, but he does get it done for you. But I ultimately would feel like if it was me, they need to move on from him, sign and trade, get it done, stop playing around and just get that taken care of. Get whatever value that you can get because you already have a future star in Tyrese Maxey. You have a lot of spots on this roster full of individuals who I'm just not sure that they will actually develop into somebody. And then you lose Shake Milton. Shake Milton departs to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And as I stare at the 76ers roster, you got a bunch of miscellaneous pieces. DeAnthony Melton. They did resign. They did just sign Mo Bamba. He'll back up Joel Embiid, so hopefully they will have some consistent minutes at the big man spot that they haven't had since Andrew Drummond left. And they got Pat Beverly, who I don't know how. That's the thing about the vets that they have. I don't know how much Pat Bev, PJ Tucker, and Dwayne Deadman, I don't know how much these guys are going to give you. Now, I will give Philadelphia credit because they did match the offer sheet for Paul Reed. And Paul Reed's a really scrappy veteran, not vet, but young player, borderline young player who can just come in and do the dirty work for you and, hard hat and lunch pail player. And I do think that they did right to match the Utah Jazz's offer sheet to, try to intercept Paul Walker. So, Paul, why am I putting all these different last names with NBA players' names? Paul Reed. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. But, yeah, that was a good move to bring back Paul Reed. But ultimately, for me, I hate to say this, guys, because I'm thinking in terms of Philadelphia as you go forward and them trying to reach their maximum potential, which would be getting a championship with Joel Embiid on the roster. I'm not too sure it happens. I'm just not sure. You're going to need a couple of things to go right in order to obtain a championship in Philadelphia. You're going to need Joel Embiid, of course, to be healthy as much as possible going forward because you're still going to need him to be your anchor. And he can do everything on that court. And so you're definitely going to need that versatility. You're going to need Tyrese Maxey to take another step up to be truly consistent. You're going to have to some kind of way find a way to get James Harden out of the picture. Take whatever assets you can get for him. You should try to see what the market value for Tobias Harris. It's question marks as well as good things about this 76ers team. And ultimately, as it stands, I don't have them winning 54 games again. I do see this team as a 50-win team, but probably about right there. I probably see them getting 49, 50 wins unless they can improve this roster in a backcourt. And if they can get a young wing player. The 76ers should have been the ones trying to see if they could trade for, a Grant Williams or OG Anunoby, or trying to get their hands in on a DeAndre Hunter, perhaps like a Cam Reddish. They the ones who needed to make that kind of trade or get that kind of free agent signing. But guys, this is my Philadelphia 76ers segment, and I hope you guys enjoyed this segment on the 76ers. As I close this video, we'll just have to see how they look because a lot of teams have improved out east and are still in the midst of trying to improve. So the 76ers have to show improvement too. If they stand pat, they won't fall too far off of the 54-win record, but championship, I don't know. And if they're not careful, Joel Embiid will be looking to move on to greener pastures. And if that happens, you will be rebuilding around Tyrese Maxey. So they need to hurry up and make moves and do it soon, do it fast. And that's it for this video. Peace.